Alright everybody, welcome back to Mustangs by Matt. Today we're going to be going from this to this Flowmaster Outlaw exhaust for the Mustang GT. It's going to be pretty cool. Let's see how it runs. Okay, so the tools and parts you're going to need, obviously you're going to need the Flowmaster Mustang GT exhaust. You're going to need the Mustang GT rear valance that we previously installed. A couple of 2 1/4 inch inner diameter extensions. You're going to need at least 2 of these clamps. Probably 4. I'm going to be using 4 because we have to extend this a little bit. Let's see here, what else? 13mm clicky wrench, 15mm clicky wrench, flathead screwdriver, 3/8 ratchet, 15mm socket, 13mm socket, an extension or 2, and maybe a cheater bar for good measure. And since we're going to be working under the car, safety glasses are a must. Last thing, I guess, maybe a hammer, a mallet of some kind. So that's it. First step is jack up your car. If you have your original exhaust, it's going to be to cut just past the resonator, which will be right around here. Flowmaster gives you instructions on that in the kit. I already have a Flowmaster Y pipe installed. You can learn about that here. So what we need to do is take our 15mm socket and our ratchet. This is going to be really tight, so you might need a cheater bar, depending on if you used a rattle gun or something to install. Okay. Now we're gonna move to this one. Alright, those are loose. We're going to move back a little bit to behind the differential. Okay, so the next step is going to be removing these 2 bolts that hold the rear hangers in place. So these are 13mm. So this exhaust is pretty well in there. So I'm going to remove this bracket at the back. 2 13mm bolts that hold it on. There we go.
Hey!
Alright, hey, I need you back, kid.
Over here.
Grab the exhaust. Yeah. Alright. Okay. Alright, set it down. All right. So before we can install the exhaust, we have to reinstall these brackets that we took out. It just made it easier to get the other exhaust out. Two 13mm bolts. Safety glasses. Alright, so we're ready to install this side. I'm just going to put the hanger on here. Alright, lift up. Alright. So what we're going to do is just slide it into here. Okay. Alright, so we've got our 2 1/4 inch extension right there. We're just gonna slide that onto our factory, well, what would be the factory resonator. Alright, got that on there. Now we're just gonna push this up into place. Now we're gonna tighten it down, not fully, because we want to make sure of where the tips are sitting before we fully tighten everything down. At least most of them. We're gonna slide over there. Just slide that in there. Alright, so we're just going to hook this on that cross brace there. We've already got our clamp installed. So before we tighten these down fully, we want to go, that came loose. We want to tighten the bolts on these two hangers, and then we'll go out of the car. We'll see if they're even, if the tips are even, if they're sitting in the right direction, you know, if they're not cockeyed or anything. And then once all that's good, then we'll tighten everything down. Alright, let's have a look. Oh. Oh. Right. So you want to lift this up higher than it will end up being, because no matter how tight you make that bolt, it will settle. And if it's perfectly level, when you tighten that clamp, it's going to settle, it's going to be unlevel. So always push it up a little bit higher. Only thing left to do now is down jack. And now the moment I've all been waiting for. So that's it. That was the installation of the Mustang GT Performance Outlaw Series mufflers on the Mustang EcoBoost. A couple things we did prior to this. We had to replace the rear valance. We got that from the parts farm. You can watch that video here. We also replaced the blade spoiler that came on this car with one from a Mustang GT Performance Pack. You can see just from the little bit of driving we've already done that the pipes have started to settle. We knew that was going to happen. So what we're going to do is take it to an exhaust shop and get those extensions welded on properly so they won't leak, and these will sit up nice and tight like they're supposed to. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. Be safe, have fun, and God bless America. Alright everybody, welcome back to Mustangs by Matt. Today we're going to be going from this reinstall these brackets at the back, one on each side, 15 millimeter, no, 13 millimeter. Okay, so before we...
Bless you.
Bless you.
Bless me.
Okay, so before we can install, have fun, and God bless America. Ugh.